All right. Fourth attempt. Or fifth. I don't even know. I'm losing count now. Sunday evenings are just not working well. And I don't know. I used to think it was my internet. Now I'm beginning to think it might be me. I'm the common denominator in these. This morning it worked fine. And of course, I'm sitting here talking as if anyone can hear me. I have no idea if this is going out. I figure that's better than... Okay. I do see one now that says Haggai, so... Yep, that's going. That's working. All right. It may have the wrong title and description, but at least it is going out. It's not showing me yet any comments or who's on, but I pulled it up on my phone and it looked like it was working. So I'm going to keep talking a little bit. I apologize for this. I will eventually get this figured out. Don't know why it worked well this morning and then didn't. So I had to switch here again, like I did last week, to something different for the Sunday evening, and. I'm baffled. So we're going to have some fun. Sunday fun day, hopefully, if everyone can join. Obviously, I need the chat to work for us to play some of these games. But we're going to continue to talk about Deny Your Selfie in our series there about learning to put Jesus first, others after that, and ourselves after that. And talking about denying ourselves to follow Him. So let me give it just a moment longer. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Okay, now I see there are 4 people on. Let me see if I can get the chat. If you're in chat, go ahead and say hello. I can't guarantee I'll see it, but if you're hearing me, at least say hello. Let me know you can hear me now, which would be an improvement over the last 4-minute stream we started, and people were seeing a black screen and could not hear audio, which was really frustrating because I had pulled it up and I thought what you were seeing was the white and green screen, but we're hearing audio, so I was talking away in here to myself, apparently. Alright, so... Let's try this.
Got Carol, Will, and Darlene on.
Are they coming?
Yes.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright, so y'all can hear me. I can't see any comments. If you would, comment one more time. I've got it now where it's actually showing me the place the comment should be. Alright, Katie, hello. Okay, I think we're working now. Both ways. It was finally working where you could see me, and now it's finally working where I can see your comments. Alright, so Will can see and hear you. Hop away. Alright, good to know we're finally back on track. So, only took 8 minutes to get this thing going. So let's just jump right in. Hi, Darlene. Alright, thank y'all for putting up with that and holding on through it. I don't know how many times you had to join different live streams. Hi, Judy. Miss Judy, good to see you. Hi, Carol. Alright, you guys made my day, so hopefully that wasn't too much hassle, but we're good to go now. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to do a couple of things here. We're going to start off with our Bible verse. We've been doing the same Bible verse. This is kind of the theme verse for this series. And so I'm going to let you guys see how well you're remembering these blanks. I'm doing the same blanks every week, so that should help. And if I can find the answers here. Nope, not that. Let's see here. Not those, not those. Uh-oh. I may have put that in the wrong one. But if you want to, go ahead and give me the next blank. Then said Jesus unto his what? Anybody remember? Then said Jesus unto his Alright, disciples. Alright, that was just perfect timing too, because I was able to finally get the, oh my goodness, I finally got the answers pulled over here, but they're in the wrong spot, so we have to watch them zoom around. Alright, if any man will, what? If any man will... Alright, I'm afraid we're getting a lot of lag here. Alright. If any man will come after me, let him blank blank and take up his blank and blank blank. Matthew 16:24. Hopefully everybody's not sitting back going, that's too much to type. Because you're going to have some typing to do later when we get into some of the games. I'm asking you questions here. Alright. Then Jesus said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him blank blank. Oh, Carol's going with the full thing. Like, yeah, not afraid to type there. So let's see. She got the last part, take up his cross and follow me. So there's one part in the middle there. Let him blank blank, take up his cross and follow me. Anybody remember the little part here? And that's the part we get our theme from for this series. Alright, yeah, okay, I figured somebody was typing it. Let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. So we've been talking about denying ourselves, looking beyond ourselves and putting ourselves second, or in this case, I guess even third with the way we're putting the acronym there, but putting others ahead of ourselves and putting God ahead of ourselves. And that's what he's saying, that if we want to be his disciples, that's what we have to do. We have to put ourselves aside. And as I was looking at another verse this week, let me get these answers off the screen. Galatians 2:20, Paul's writing, he says, I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live. Yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Paul says, it's like I've been crucified. Jesus is the one that died on the cross for us. Paul says, I'm doing the same thing to myself. I'm crucifying myself so that he can live through me. And that's what I think Jesus was describing there when he said we have to deny ourselves and take up our cross and follow him. Is we have to put the flesh down. We have to put ourselves, our fleshly desires aside. All right, so first, oops, I got these answers up here too. First, well, there's our acronym, Jesus and others and you. And we've talked about putting Jesus first and talked about serving others. And last week we talked about the you aspect and not to let, we talked about James and John there and their request. They wanted to be great, and Jesus said, no, you need to be a servant. And but today we're going to focus again on the you a little bit. I want to know a little bit about you. And it's funny because we're going to do this session to talk about not focusing on ourselves, but I am going to ask you to focus on you for the answers to these. So ironically, a little bit, this will be a little bit about you. And then we're going to let you guess some games of some examples we have of people in Scripture that are that showed selfishness. But all right, here's your first question. You're coming to a potluck dinner, and you have to bring one dish. What are you bringing? All right, open-ended question. We're all going to a potluck dinner. You have to bring one dish. What are you going to bring? I guess I should give my answer too. I wonder if it'll show up as me. It'll probably show up as New Hebrew, won't it? What am I gonna bring? Alright. Okay, mine shows up as Restream.io. That's me. The tater tot casserole there. Alright, so Will's got the drinks, and I can't put these on the screen because I'm using a different software than what I was using last week. That frustrates me. Miss Judy's bringing corn. Alright. I'm bringing tater tot casserole. That's me. Darlene's bringing corn. We got 2 people bringing corn. Alright. So this is going to be a... Miss Judy's terrified. Hers is going to be cream corn. Alright. Carol's bringing a big salad. Alright. Missing anybody? Alright. Now you guys are challenging me with my... no, Christy's bringing hash brown casserole. Okay. That's the one we always ask for around here. So, 2 casseroles, a salad, cream corn, and drinks. And all right, that's gonna be a good potluck dinner. We're gonna be eating good. I mentioned you challenged me here because I was trying to find out whose was gonna be the longest of all of these, and some of you worded it differently. So now I'm trying to struggle. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with big salad as one. Okay. Yeah, Daddy would bring cornbread. That's a good point. So, all right. So Christy has the longest one. If you just go with the specific words, hash brown casserole. I think she even has me beat with tater tot. I was going to include myself. So, anyway, so Christy has the longest one. So now, Christy, you get to choose which of these is which of these gets the award for. You can't choose your own. Which one of these gets the award for the best potluck dish at our potluck? Which one are you going to award with the prize there? You have to choose. You're standing up at the potluck and you're saying, okay, I want to thank everyone for bringing what you brought, but especially this one. You can even give him one of your special Pampered Chef ladles as a prize or something at the potluck dinner. Oh, Christy awards the big salad with the prize. All right, so Carol, congratulations. You won the game you didn't know you were playing. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to turn that a little bit. Nobody knew they were voting for anything, but to see who would be chosen in that group. So, all right. So Christy is a salad eater. I can see that. Well, let's move into a quick who is this thing. So we're talking a little bit about people who have been selfish in Scripture, people that are examples of being selfish. And I mentioned in the description the first time I set up the stream. I did in the last few times, so I didn't have time to type it all. But sometimes it's easier to see selfishness in other people than it is to see it in ourselves. And that's just true of human nature. I think that's why the Scripture gives us examples of people who did selfish things, and we can learn from that, and sometimes even see ourselves in that. All right, so I'm calling this selfie-centered. You're trying to guess who this person is. First clue is I wanted to do things my own way. So I'm going to leave those up. You can shout out guesses all you want as we go through. There's 4 clues until I finally reveal the name of who it is. And so you can feel free to make guesses at each one. Obviously, it's going to get easier as we get more clues. Gives you a little more clarity about who this person is. It's someone in the Bible. And in this case, I wanted to do things my own way. All right. Not seeing any guesses yet. I tried to figure out how long to wait on these. But next clue. I killed a man. So, this person, I want to do things their own way. They killed someone. That narrows it down to some people. Still a lot of people in the scripture that that could fit. No guesses yet. And Christy's guessing Cain. All right. I was jealous of him. The person that I killed, I was jealous of them. He was my brother. Alright, people may have quit guessing when Christy guessed that because she was right, Cain. And we see in Cain a really good example of that selfishness. It was Cain was doing something. Alright, some more answers coming in there. Okay, yeah, everybody's going with Cain there. Cain's a good example. He was doing something that was, I guess, could consider to be good. He was making an offering to God. He was bringing an offering before him, but he didn't do it the way God had told them to do it. He didn't do it the way it was laid out. We don't see any of that description about what God had said or didn't say, but obviously God rejected Cain's offering, even though it was the fruit of the field that Cain had raised and worked for himself, and he accepted Abel's offering, which was the slain lamb. And obviously there had been some discussion before that because God must have already explained to them what they wanted to do, and Cain was just like, well, this is what I've raised, this is what I'm proud of, I'm going to offer this, and he's going to accept it. And then he got angry and he got frustrated because his his offering was received and his wasn't. He felt rejected, and he let it turn into such a jealousy that he ended up killing his own brother. And we can see his state of mind when God comes to him and says, where's your brother, where's Abel? And his response to God was, am I my brother's keeper? Which is an interesting response because he should be his brother's keeper. We should all be our brother's keeper. We should all care about those around us and be watching out for them and taking care of them. And here he's just like, why would I know where he's at? Why would I care? And that's just the hardness of his heart, where he got to from being so focused on himself and the frustration of him being rejected and his offering being rejected, I should say. He wasn't actually rejected himself. It was his offering. And instead of going and trying to fix this and make amends and do things the way God wanted to do, he got angry and was so focused on himself and his own feelings, he was willing to let it take it to the extreme of killing his own brother. So a good example there of someone who was self-centered, really to the maximum. There's really nothing more you can say about Cain than that. His selfishness caused him to hate his brother and caused him to ultimately kill his brother. All right, another quick question about you. I'm leaving the easy questions for you. I'm not asking you to admit any selfishness in any of these. Like I say, it's easier to see in others. If you see anything in those, then let the Holy Spirit lead that. But I'm going to ask you some questions about you. All right, so you meet a genie that can only grant wishes for physical items. So none of this, I want to fly through the air or, things like that. Relationships, none of that stuff. He says, it's got to be a physical thing I can grant you. And you get one wish. What are you wishing for? It can be anything as long as it's real, tangible, physical. He can poof it right in front of you. So what are you wishing for? So I can't wish for more hair because it's got to be a physical item. I guess hair technically is kind of a physical item, but it's not. He's not making modifications to me. I can't wish to be younger or thinner or any of those things. But I can wish for an item, a thing. What are you wishing for? These questions aren't like psychology things where we're going to loop them back around to some sort of selfishness or whatever. It's just, I was just curious. That'd be kind of fun to give you a chance to answer random questions, kind of that would you rather type of stuff. All right, so Christy's wishing for a housekeeper or endless supply of chocolate or a barn or, okay, Christy's got a list. All right. I didn't think about a housekeeper as something you could wish for that's a physical thing. Because in that case, it's kind of like, boom, this now belongs to you. It's kind of, that was kind of weird. All right, Carol's wishing for a stack of $100 bills. All right. Will's wishing for a winning lottery ticket. That would be an easy way to do it. Just give me that lottery ticket and I'll go collect my earnings. Anybody else know what you're wishing for? And the reason I came up with that question is Katie was watching a show the other day about a boy and a genie. It wasn't Aladdin, but it's very similar to that. And that's just kind of what got me thinking about it. All right, no more sharing what people are gonna wish for. All right, Miss Judy, a little money to pay the bills. Okay, that seems to be a trend here. We could all use a little bit extra money, couldn't we, to get by? And so yeah, whether it be a stack of hundreds or a lottery ticket or some other collection of money. Like I said, if you limit it to physical items, that's probably one of the more simplest ways to go. Because then, if Christy had that, she could then get her barn. I don't know about endless supply of chocolate, but she could get a lot of chocolate and that sort of stuff. So, all right, interesting. Oh, I didn't give mine. What would I wish for? See, now you guys have talked me, kind of talked me into the idea of wishing for some sum of money, because then you could just, like, I could decide later. Like, I really don't have anything that immediately pops into mind, like, oh, I want that or whatever. Yeah, Will, I agree with you. I'm the same way. I'm not money obsessed. I don't need all the money in the world. I just poor. Could use a little bit to get caught up here. And if you're gonna go and give me a little bit, might as well give me a lot. So, so all right. So, yeah, I'll just go with y'all on that one. I'll ask for a stack of cash as well, I guess, since I can't think of anything else physical item that I don't know. My own island wouldn't be so bad. I don't know. I guess you could just plop that right in front of me, like I said in the description. But I wouldn't mind having my own island. But I guess that's just the introvert in me. All right, next game of Selfie Centered. See if you can guess who this person is. Another person in Scripture who who demonstrated selfishness. I was king of Israel. That's our first clue. Just narrows it down. Yeah, darling, I'm with you on that, darling. I had trouble thinking of something too, so it's kind of hard to come up with something on the fly. I wouldn't be very good at if I found the genie at that, because I'd be like, ooh, all right, you're going to have to come back to me later on this, because I really think this through. Especially with one wish, that puts all the pressure on, like, no, I got to get this right in the first try. at least in the movies when they have 3 wishes, if you get the first one wrong, okay, I can make up for it with a second one, but I only gave you one in this game. All right, I was king of Israel. I wanted a certain vineyard. Obsessed with a certain vineyard. So that was something that came to mind when I was talking about. I was thinking about what would I ask for. Is land is obviously something I thought about. You know, you can never have too much land, or I guess you probably could, but it's always a good thing to have. This particular king was obsessed with a certain vineyard. He wanted that vineyard. Alright, I'm going to keep giving out clues here. The owner wouldn't sell it to me. I tried to buy it. I wanted this vineyard, offered to buy it. I'm the king. I obviously have the resources to purchase it from you, but the owner said, nope, it's been in my family for years. I could not sell my family land, and that upset me. Alright, not giving any clues on this one. This one may be a little tougher than I thought it was. My wife had him killed and gave it to me as a gift. I was moping around, complaining that I couldn't get this vineyard, that he wouldn't sell it to me. I really wanted it. And so she said, you know what? Here, you can have it. And, all right, so everybody's kind of giving up on this one, I think. Got one shrug and nobody else responding. This is King Ahab. And this story is found in 1 Kings chapter 21. The man who had the vineyard was named Naboth, and he wouldn't sell it because it was family land, and to him it was, there wasn't a value that could be put on it. He felt he would be dishonoring his family to sell this land, even to the king. And Ahab moped and complained about it, and Jezebel said, "You're the king, you deserve to have this." And she went out, had Naboth killed, took the land from him, gave it to Ahab as a gift, and he was all happy about that. He didn't bother asking, "Well, how'd you end up getting it?" What, he just kind of, whatever happened to Naboth didn't really matter to him. He was so focused on getting what he wanted, and that he didn't care about other people. That's what selfishness will do to us. It focuses other people out of it. We saw in Cain, he was so focused on his how he felt about what had happened to him that other people's feelings didn't matter or play into this. Ahab, same way. He was so focused on what he wanted and what he was trying to get that when he got it, didn't care about anybody else. That's what selfishness, when it goes to the extreme, will do to us. All right, next question. What's something you got punished for doing when you were younger? So, I'm sure, given the group that's here, that we were all punished at some point when we were younger, whether it be spanking or getting grounded or arrested. Okay, don't go into those. I'm just kidding. Or you can if you want to, but what's something you got punished for doing when you were younger that you still remember? You still remember doing it. You still remember getting in trouble for it. Anybody got something they're willing to share? All right, Christy, go first. She remembers getting in trouble for sneaking out her window. If I remember that story correctly, Christy said she climbed out her window, went outside, and then came back in the front door and got in a lot of trouble. Like, how are you coming in from out there? Miss Judy got in trouble for fighting with cousins. Okay, I can see that. The family get-togethers and everybody's all there, and you get in trouble for fighting. That's one thing that I can say as well. When I was first and second grade in particular, I got sent to the principal's office a few times for fighting. Oddly enough, young boys on the playground and get into fights, and I do remember that, getting in trouble for. These weren't my cousins; they were just friends at school. We were probably friends later on that same day, but getting in trouble for fighting. Anybody else? It's confession time. We'll assume everyone else was perfect angels. Oh yeah, Christy's like, okay, put me into the fighting thing too. That's there, fighting with Amy all the time. So yeah, it's funny. Speaking of that, Carol, picking on Chuck until he bit me. That story's been told plenty of times. That Carol would pick at me. When I was real little, and she'd just pick at me until I'd finally just bite her. And Darlene's fighting with my sister. Okay, so there seems to be a trend here that fighting is one of the things we all get in trouble for when we're younger. I can remember Carol and I, we'd sometimes get in trouble for fighting, and we'd get sent to our rooms, and our rooms were right across the hall from each other, so our doors face each other. And it didn't take long for us to be in our room, so we were sent there, and that was kind of our start of our punishment. The next thing you know, we're playing, and they're sitting in our doorways, playing back and forth while we're in trouble for fighting with one another. So, she says, confession is good for the soul. That's what they say. Yep. So, all right. So now we know we got a group of ruffians in this group. Don't make anybody angry here. We got a lot of fighters among us. I think that's just common though of siblings and cousins and things like that get in trouble for that. I thought that question might bring up some interesting stories. So, all right. So our next selfie-centered question. Again, another person. I was king of Israel. So that narrows it down. There were only a certain number of kings of Israel, but it's still quite high. Carol remembers playing in our doors. Yeah, it was funny because we'd be there for fussing or fighting or whatever, but yet we're back there playing together like everything's okay. So who is this? I was king of Israel. I saw another man's wife and wanted her for myself. Thankfully, we didn't have any confessions like this. Yeah, we didn't have any of these stories. Christy's guessing David. All right. I tried to cover it up. All right, everybody's already guessing this one. and ended up having her husband killed in battle. And you know the answer. Everybody's got King David. That's right. You know, David, even a man who's described as a man after God's own heart, still had these moments of selfishness, these moments when he focused on his own desires and what he wanted to the detriment of others. And we see that in the story of him and Bathsheba. He sees her there. He desires her. He lets the fleshly desires take over his pursuit of pleasure. And then he sins with Bathsheba, and he's trying to cover it up because now she's pregnant, and her husband's been away at war. So he sends for her husband to come home and tries to get him to stay home for a while. And being the good soldier he is, he's like, well, I won't go home to my wife. I'll stay here at the outside with the other military people. But I'm in military mode right now, so I'm not doing I'm not going home to my comforts and all that. And because he was such a good soldier, he wouldn't fall for David's ploy to try to cover this thing up, and ends up having to instruct some of his leaders to move forward. And when he was there in the battle, to back away from him and let him be killed. And David was responsible for his murder there, if you look at it. And all stemmed just from one pursuit. David going, I want to have this one pleasure. I want to have this one experience. I want to have this one relationship that he shouldn't have had. But he let his desire focus on what he wanted. And so we've seen that so far. We've seen it from Cain, where it was a desire for acceptance, a desire to be appreciated, a desire of what's happening to me. Or Ahab, a desire for a thing, for a belonging, a possession. Or David, a desire for pleasure, a desire for things that excited his mind. And in each of those situations, they don't think about the other people. They don't only think consumed with themselves. That's what selfishness does to us. And we have to be really careful because it can be really sneaky. All right, next question for you. If you could suddenly become president of the U.S., would you want it? Why or why not? You can't just say yes or no. You got to tell me yes because of this or no because of that. So if you could suddenly become president of our nation, you'd be in charge. You'd be the one running things. Would you want it? Christy says she doesn't want that responsibility, which surprises me because Christy doesn't usually mind being the boss. I guess being bossy isn't enough credential for being president, huh? Although other people must be really giving me some answers here. Christy's just giving me the stern face there. Other people may be typing in like a whole, here's what I would do or why I would not want this. That's good. I'm anticipating here. I hope that's the case and not people just ignoring the question, because I'm waiting for your responses here. Oh, Mr. Yu says no as well. Too many headaches in running the country. It would definitely not be an easy job, that's for sure. I mean, you watch people that become president, and over the years, you just kind of see, even in 4 years or 8 years, the amount of time that they physically seem to age is beyond those 4 or 8 years. It takes its toll on people, that's for sure. I don't know if it's just the amount of hours put in or if it's also the stress and all the things they have to go through, but yeah, it is definitely a tough job. All right, got our first yes. Carol would be it, because I could find a vice president worthy of being president and he could tell me what to do. All right. So Carol's like, yeah, I could do this job as long as I found good people to put into place. That's to me sounds like what a good leader does a lot of times. Just you build the right team. You don't have to be the best leader if you put the right people around you. So interesting plan there, Carol. So has a nice ring to it too as well. President Carol Smith. I can see that. Dum dum da dum dum da dum da dum 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 dum. I think that's Hail to the Chief. Either that or I just sang one of those tunes that the ice cream truck plays. I'm not really sure. All right. Any more answers to that? I'm going to kind of go with Carol on this one. It's not that I would want to be president. It's definitely not something I... Oh, we got Will's answer. Hang on. Will says no, because there's so much strife between people in this country and it's so chaotic. I can agree with that, Will. That's, you almost can't win in that role, to be honest, with the way the things are right now. No matter what you do, gonna be a lot of people that hated what you did, a lot of people that claimed what you did was good, and it would definitely be a tough role to be in. But I'm gonna go with Carol's approach too. I'm gonna say yes. Not that I want to be president. Certainly not a ambition, as you can tell, since I've never pursued anything like that. But I guess if it was suddenly there, boom, here, the job's yours. I'd probably say let's go ahead and do it. Let's see what can go wrong, right? Famous last words. Darlene's still undecided, so she's still trying to decide if she wants to take it or not. So, all right. Our next person, selfie-centered person, Zebedee is our father. Now, that's supposed to be a really good hint there. I'm thinking this might actually give the answer away on the first clue to some people, but just kind of depends. Zebedee's one of those unique names in the Bible, so I thought it might ring a bell. It's something we've talked about recently, but it might not. And if you thought that was Zebedee Doodah, that's something totally different. Zebedee is the father of these people. You can tell by the way it's worded, our father, that this is more than one person. All right, we're brothers, so you're looking for two people here. We traveled with Jesus, so they were with him, traveling around, and we wanted to be more important than the other disciples. And Christy's guessing there. All right. I assume others may be typing as well. Hopefully that was enough to give it away there at the end. James and John. We talked about that story last week, so I won't really belabor it, but you know, a good glimpse of their lives. And when they were going to Jesus saying, hey, when you establish the kingdom, can we sit on your right and your left hand? Can we be the next in charge? Can we have positions of power? And Jesus told them, no, if you want to be great in my kingdom, you have to be a servant to all. You know, they had this selfish desire for power, this selfish desire for prestige. They wanted to be viewed as great when this kingdom came into being. And Jesus had to kind of focus their attention back around. So, all right. So, Christy, Darlene, good job on that one. James and John, our selfie-centered brothers there. All right, one other. But first, a question for you. We're throwing a party to celebrate you. What should we do, and what should the menu be? All right, this is a party specifically for you. This is Carol Allen Day, Carol Allen Smith Day, or Will Smith Day, or Darlene Sims Green Day, or Christy Allen Day, or Miss Judy Dean Day. And it's going to be a celebration. So, like, what should we do? Should it be a certain place? Should it be doing a certain activity? You know, just tell me what you think would make that party special for you. And, being the food lover I am, what should the menu be? All right? So you can kind of go any direction you want to with that. It doesn't have to be too elaborate. You can say, hey, it's at the ballpark and we're having hot dogs or whatever. That's fine. Or it could be, oh, we need to be doing these activities. We're gonna go here, here, and here, and we're gonna have this entertainment. And you can go as elaborate or as short as you want. But what do we do, and what's the menu to celebrate you? A party just for you. While you're thinking about that, I want to share another verse that I saw that kind of goes along with what we've been talking about. Philippians 2, 3, and 4. Paul writes there to the church at Philippi. It says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem other better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Again, reminding us that we can't be focused on our own desires, our own wants, our own even needs at certain times, to the detriment of ignoring everyone else. We've talked about how, you is part of this. We want to, we're not ignoring ourselves. We're not belittling ourselves. We're not discrediting ourselves. We're just simply putting ourselves in the right perspective. All right, so Darlene, we're having Darlene Day first. Balloons and streamers. All right, so you like the decorations aspect of it. Hamburgers and chips and hopscotch. Okay, I haven't played hopscotch at a party in years, so that would be fun. So on Darlene Day, we're gonna have balloons and streamers. We're gonna play hopscotch. We're gonna have hamburgers and chips. I like that. I like that menu too. All right, Miss Judy's got hers. She wants a surprise birthday party. Bring whatever you want, but chocolate ice cream. Okay, so she wants the chocolate ice cream there. But other than that, whatever you bring is okay. But she wants it to be a surprise. That's fun. So we know when we celebrate Miss Judy Day, it's got to be a surprise, and she can't know about it until she walks up and we're like, surprise! All right, so Will. All right, so this is Will Day, and he's an introvert, reminding us that he's not wanting this to be a huge public scene. Everybody go home. I'll watch Netflix and get a Grubhub menu. That's really good. That's if that's what celebrating you would be like. Okay, this is a great way to celebrate me. Just let me be alone with my Netflix, and I'll choose my own delivery. I don't have to go out and get it. So I like that. Well, that's pretty funny. So when we have Will Day, everybody gets to go home, watch Netflix on their own, and order whatever they want from their favorite restaurant that delivers via Grubhub. All right, Christy. All right, so we're gonna have Tiki Day. All right, so Christy's already naming hers since she goes by the name Tiki. She's gonna have barbecue, fries, chocolate cake, and ice cream. And we're going to play Pictionary type games and board games. All right, so that could be fun. We're having a party. We have a Tiki Day. And Christy's going with the barbecue and fries option for that. And sit around and play some games. I do enjoy just sitting around playing board games or Pictionary, that sort of stuff. All right, it's Carol Day. A pool cookout party. Okay. With Chuck's grilled steaks, Daddy's green beans, and Christy making Mama's cream cheese pound cake. All right. So not only just certain foods, but certain foods the way certain people make it. So, and she's going with the board games when the sun goes down as well. So pool party, outside having fun until it gets to evening, and then bringing in for board games and all with steaks, green beans, and cream cheese pound cake. All right. So that's Carol Day. So Miss Judy has never had a surprise birthday party at all, so that's interesting. I have had a surprise birthday party. I believe it was a surprise. Christy threw one for me one year. I'd been traveling and was out of town, came back and surprised me. She might have actually told me we were having a party, but she didn't tell me she'd invited like everybody, like friends from high school and stuff like that, so I know it was a surprise there. So but yeah, all right, so we gotta throw Miss Judy a surprise party. And she does have a birthday coming up, so maybe we'll have a surprise birthday party there. All right, so last selfie centered. I didn't miss anybody on that one, did I? Nope, we got everybody, I think, on that. All right, I was a good son. This the person we're talking about here. I'm not taking any credit for myself. This is our person in the Bible that was self-centered, selfie-centered. I was a good son. Have any guesses yet? Kind of run out of time, so I'll move these kind of quickly. Yeah, I may end up putting clues up over your guesses, but that'll be all right. My brother was the one who rebelled, so I was the good son. Other one, not so much. My brother, he was not as good as me. I got angry when my dad celebrated his return. Now, this should be giving it away, I think, already. People are probably going, what's his name? I don't remember his name. Not looking for a name here. Just to give you another little hint there. I didn't get a party. So that was the frustration. My brother, he's not even the good kid. He goes off, does all kinds of stuff, comes back, and he gets a party for coming home. Me, I stay home. I don't get a party. I didn't go off and do all of that. Yeah, so Christy's got it there. I refer to it as the older brother. Yeah, the older brother in that story we looked at last Sunday morning. I call the loving father, usually referred to as a prodigal son story. And the older brother gives us another example there of someone who is focused on themselves. You know, he did the right things. He chose to stay there. He didn't dishonor his father the way that his brother had. He didn't go off and waste all of their resources they had there. He had to, it was very different. But at the same time, he was still focused on himself. When it came time to celebrate his brother, he couldn't even celebrate his brother because he was still thinking about, well, why didn't I get a party? Why did he celebrate me? And it was all about focused on himself. And so we see that same idea, that selfishness that can sneak in. Even when we're being pretty good, we can still have times where we're kind of focusing all that on us. So that's our examples there of selfie-centered people. Do you see yourself in any of those? You know, those should all be a challenge for us to look at those as a mirror and say, okay, where are some areas of my life that I'm allowing either desires or things or ways I've been treated to cause me to be so focused on myself and not at the extent of not thinking of others. So yeah, I didn't remember the name. Yeah, so I figured that would throw people off because there's no name given for the older brother. It's just referred to as the older brother. But yeah, we want to make sure that we're not letting ourselves get sucked into that idea of just focusing on us and what we want and not really taking into account everyone around us. Philippians 2, Paul mentions how rare it is to find people who are truly interested in helping others instead of helping themselves. He's writing to the church at Philippi, and he says, "But I trust in the Lord Jesus to send Timotheus shortly unto you, that I also may be of good comfort when I know your state. For I have no man like-minded who will naturally care for your state. For all seek their own, not the things which are Jesus Christ." Paul says, as soon as I can, I'm going to send Timothy to you to help you out, to teach you, to make sure you're taken care of and that you're grounded in understanding what the gospel message is all about. He says, but I don't have anybody other than Timothy I can send right now because everybody else I know is so focused on themselves and what they want and their own lives that they're not interested in going and helping other people. That is a sad thing. That's a sad story to tell. That Paul, surrounded by a lot of people that believed, a lot of believers, a lot of people that knew Christ, and yet they're still focused on themselves to the extent that Paul says, I don't have anybody to send you other than Timothy, and I kind of need him with me for a little bit longer, but I will send him to you shortly because nobody else will seek the things that Christ wants. Everyone else is focused on their own things. So let's don't be that way. Let's remember that it's so easy to fall into. Even when we're not doing the horrible things, even when we're not killing people or murdering people, we can still slip into a me focus, I focus. And we want to be focused on Jesus and others and then ourselves last. And Jesus, others, and you, that's the way to joy. So anyway, hope that's a good reminder for you. Sorry we went a little bit long. It was late getting started and it's still kind of dragging out there, but hopefully it didn't go too long for you. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope it's a week where you can really focus on finding someone to serve, finding someone to check in on, someone that God puts on your heart and says, you know what, I'm going to do something for them, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a quick message, whether it's going to visit, whatever it may be, God puts on your heart, do something for someone else today. Because He wants us to get out of ourselves, get out of our own lives, out of our own desires, out of our own hurts even, sometimes to go and say, okay, I'm gonna do something for somebody else. Because that's the example that Christ gave us. So I hope you have a wonderful week. If you need me, let me know. Feel free to give me a call, text, email, whatever. And I love you all. Talk to you soon.